Welcome to the Small Scape and welcome to part 2 of how to recession-proof your aquarium hobby. I'm going to be bringing 3 different ways to you today, but before I do, I'm going to start off with my favorite comment from last week's video, and that is a really great tip. If you want to recession-proof your hobby, get yourself some cool water fish. Then you don't have to worry about heaters, especially if you may have some inclement weather coming, and it's just a little bit something less that you have to deal with. And even if your heater bombs out, that's one thing you don't have to worry about if you have cool water fish. Most of the fish back here, 3 of the 4 tanks are cool water fish, and we don't have to worry about putting a heater. So it's a money saver, time saver, aggravation saver, all that. So it was a great tip that multiple people left. Love it. So let's start off with number 1, and this is something that you may not consider, but I think it's actually a very important consideration if you're looking to save money or just buckle down, and it just makes sense to me. It might not be something you think of, and that is the stand that you will be putting your aquarium on. Now keep in mind that most of my information and my brain comes from the nano world, so the stand that you get for a nano tank is quite different than a stand that you will get for a larger tank. But keep that in mind when you are picking out your nano tank. Where are you going to put it? Best choices that I would say for recession proofing for a stand, get yourself a very inexpensive old piece of furniture. You can find the coolest pieces of furniture, especially if you're crafty. Get yourself an old piece that's like at a consignment store, a Goodwill. We have a Jubilee Furniture that's really close by. It usually benefits charities, which is a double great, and you get a solid, heavy, well, really solid piece of furniture. Really great way to go, and you're going to get it at a fraction of the cost of a brand new piece of furniture. If you do want brand new, I highly recommend Wayfair. Number of pieces of furniture when we were getting some new furniture after like 20 years. We went on Wayfair, and it's a really great website, even if you just want to look at different things, to tables, dressers that you want to put a little tank on. You need to make sure that it can hold the weight. Even a small tank, a little 5-gallon, will be at least like 50 pounds, if not more, with the substrate and everything else added into it. But you need to make sure that that piece of furniture can hold your little aquarium, and Wayfair lists the weight capacity that each piece of furniture can hold. It's a really great tool, and we usually pick our furniture based on that, if it can hold an aquarium. The other recommendation that I have, highly recommend that you put a nano tank. If you want to get yourself a nano tank, you have a nano tank, you're like, where should I put it? I highly recommend you just consider the kitchen or the bathroom. I know, a lot of people spend a lot of time in both of those rooms. They get a lot of activity, and they're very close to the water source. Really simple for doing your water changes, maybe clearing out some duckweed. Bam, you're right by the sink there anyways. And the kitchen, everybody's all in the kitchen all the time. I'm always cooking, making something, grabbing something, and it's coffee break area. And also, if you do want to get a stand, I really don't recommend going to a pet store. We actually may have to and actually get a aquarium stand. But generally speaking, I find them to be cheaper made. They sometimes look like they're just not going to hold the aquarium, and they're way more expensive than the other sources that I gave you. But also consider that if you do get a piece of furniture specifically to hold an aquarium, just make sure that you can use it somewhere else. Is it something that you can, is it a dresser? Could you put something else on it, a TV in the future? I don't tend to like to get a one-hit wonder, just something that you can get, something that you need for a specific purpose. I like to know that in the future, if my tastes change, I'm a little fickle, I can use it somewhere else in the house, and it'll give you a little bit more of a warm fuzzy, especially if times get hard and you need to use it for something else. Number 2, stores, shops. Where are you gonna get your fish stuff? We have done videos before on how to save money, and you can go to the home improvement stores and get stuff, dollar stores, all that good stuff. But where do you get your fish? Where do you get your supplies? Consider not going to the big box stores. Sometimes they do have sales, that's really great. But sometimes they're just overpriced. You can get really tiny bags of substrate that come in a cute little package, and you'll spend way more. Don't do it. Look online, obviously look at Amazon. But with shipping prices these days, that may not be your best bet. Always look into swaps, fish clubs. If you don't belong to a fish club, search it out. If you don't know of any fish stores, you can always Google, or fish swaps, fish clubs. You can always Google it, and in my area. You can also hop on a live stream like Primetime Aquatics, we do on Wednesday nights, KG Tropicals. Hop on a live stream and say, hey, I'm in Tennessee. Hey, I'm in Kentucky. Anybody know of a fish club? It's just a really great way to get super duper prices. And you can sometimes literally swap. If you have something that you want to swap somebody for, sometimes the dealers will actually, they'll swap you merchandise. And the prices you literally, you just can't beat. Number 3, if you want to recession proof your aquarium hobby, consider the fish that you are going to be putting in your house. Now I know you may have some favorites. You may absolutely need a particular kind of fish. You've always wanted the blue acara. You've always wanted the whatever. I understand that. It may be a bucket list fish, but keep in mind, do you have to feed it live foods? That would be a big no-no in my book. I have had pea puffers in the past that did eat snails that we happen to have, but if we would have, for some reason, run out, that would have been something I'd need to consider. I need to get this fish live foods. Also, replacement. If your fish die, will you want to go and get more of them? What's the cost? Did you buy them online? Are you going to buy them online? How much is it really going to cost to buy all those fish and have them shipped? You will probably be paying extra shipping to get them there very quickly, especially the winter months are coming. Also, be intentional with possibilities of breeding. Know what fish you are buying, know the possibility of breeding. How many people start off in the aquarium hobby and you just have to have guppies? I love guppies, they're so beautiful. However, in no time at all, you will have a lot of guppies. If you get shellies, chances are in no time at all, you're gonna have a lot of shellies. That could be great. You could possibly sell those to a fish store or at a swap and get some money for them, or do some trades for some fish food. Or you may want to actually ask before you do that, because they may not accept fish from people they don't know or what have you, and you will be stuck with a whole lot of extra fish. Now that may not be a bad thing. Fish babies are so much fun. However, at some point you're going to need to move those fish babies out and put them in their own tank. That means if you don't have another tank, guess what? You have to now go and get another tank. So I hope you enjoyed this video and 3 more tips to recession proof your aquarium hobby. I do actually have a lot more coming. It happens to be in a notebook, all the ideas that I came up with. It's in a notebook that's currently in Ohio. So look for another video soon when I get that notebook back, unless I think of them in the meantime. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave me your favorite tips on how you can keep it cheap and simple and still enjoy the hobby. See you later.